If you're like me, you've been searching all over for an Old City Bar tutorial, not the album version, but the live version. I've been searching all over for this, have not found it, and I took about a year to figure this one out, just little bit by bit. Here is the tutorial, the breakdown. I'm so excited to share it with you. Now, a note before we really dive in, this song is typically played a whole step down. Not a half step, but two, right? So one whole step. So 2 frets. The E is a D. Not drop D, but every string tuned down 1 whole step. I'm playing this in standard tuning just for this example, but just keep that in mind. So let's go over the main progression and shapes. Chords first. There's a very specific way to pick this song. Here it is. First in real-time speed, then at half speed. So the main thing to note is the alternating across each of the chords on the second string as you change chords. That's what the listener is tuned into. Here it is at half speed. That took forever to figure out, by the way. So let's see it in action. That was a little up-tempo, but you get the gist of it, right? So that covers the main verses. Let's go into the weird bridge/pre-chorus section. It's a little different. Here are the chords. So here it is at actual speed. The main thing to note here is the descending bass line. Cool. Here it is at half speed. So let's talk a little bit about the transitions between the end of the verses into the choruses and just what's different there. Really, the only main difference is instead of jumping from this shape to the C shape before you reach the D minor, you just jump straight to the G shape. So it sounds like this. And that's used maybe 2 or 3 times in the song. You'll hear it whenever there's that switch to G instead of the D minor as they prepare for the next verse. Another one of those transitional moments happens somewhere in the bridge, I'll denote it here, where you go from that descending bass line shape we covered earlier straight to a G, and you hold it out. This is what it sounds like. I'm pretty sure that only happens once in the song. Now let's talk about flourishes. This is done at the end of the chord progression to lead into renewing that cycle once more. This first flourish can be done at two different spots. The first is right after you hit the D minor and you go to hit the G, or this shape. That shape. As soon as you land here is when you start it. Here it is at half speed. I still haven't fully mastered it. It takes a lot of practice to get it done right, since you're picking with the middle finger at the same time that you're strumming. It's the E 6th string, the G, at the same time you're plucking that B. And then again on the G string alone, open. Then this shape. That's the A and the B there, followed by the G. Strumming the final three, I typically skip the A and E strings. It's a lot easier when you're finger picking. So this is what it sounds like in the context of the progression. So I cheated a little bit there, but you see what we're aiming for. The other time it can be used is to shorten the whole chord progression in half. Here's what it sounds like. So that's a way to shorten the progression. Normally this is done at the end of those really long drawn out notes that the vocalist will do. This helps keep the song short. A main principle of the song is variety. Because it's the same chord progression for most of the song, there's a lot of embellishments and flourishes you can do to make it sound fresh in each time you cycle through the progression. In some of the live versions of the song, this is the chord progression that's used. So let's walk through this. Keep in mind you can use these flourishes in other songs as well. So here's the picking pattern for this one. So that gives you an idea of what that sounds like. Now this next one is really tough to do. I can't do it on command just yet. I'm still rehearsing it, but this is how it's done. This replaces the D minor. And this replaces the G. Again, I'm not really good at those shapes just yet, but I figured them out so you guys can practice them. Now with that, let's put all of it together. I'm gonna be picking every single note. I might miss some, but bear with me. The shapes are what's correct and what matters here. Let's hit it. Okay, I definitely rushed there towards the end, but you get the idea. I just had to share these chord progressions, these chord shapes with someone. So now you got it. That is Old City Bar by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Let's rock it.